I think it's truly important to take a minute to sit down and write down the things that you're thinking about and put it into context. Too often we get into the point where we have a lot of stuff going through our minds, right? We have a lot of things that we process and think through. But yet, if we take a minute to slow down, remove technology, or remove the distractions more particularly that can hinder us from putting our thoughts onto paper, the thoughts onto paper process help us clarify exactly what it is that we need to accomplish. It gives us more understanding of what needs to be done and how to do it well and appropriately. So for example, I'm currently working through some things right now that is geared towards my organizational development process, how I gauge companies, organizations in that regard, and give them the tools they need to develop their organizations for success. I currently have a piece of paper right here to talk about what type of content do I want to create, and more particularly the lanes in which I want to create content for. And then I'm going to dive into in a deeper fashion, exactly how do I want to show up in these different lanes, right? And try to narrow it down to maybe 2 to 3. I have 4, but narrow it down to 2. Maybe go all in and make content for those two particular things. That's not going to only help the business ventures that I want to go towards, but even what I am excited to talk about, what I know well, right? So that's that kind of stuff I'm going to create. I'm also writing down some visions that I have for just the business itself. What do I want this business to see? What type of things do I want this business to obtain and accomplish? And how do we get there? Those are the things that is important that we take a minute to sit down, write it out, and then once it's kind of written into a fashion that makes sense, go engage the people, your trusted people, your advisors, those who want to see you succeed, and bounce it off them to help make sure you shore up any blind spots that you might have. That's the work that we need to do if we want to be successful. This is the stuff that happens behind the scenes in order to show up in these spaces and be present and excel and be effective in these contexts. We can no longer step into the limelight, step onto the stage and not be prepared. We can't step on stage and wing it. We cannot step on stage and wing it. That's no longer acceptable. We gotta be prepared. You gotta do the work, do the reps on the back end. Get your systems right in order to be successful on the front end. Let's get to work.